Thanks for tuning in to Bitches Be Cray. Just a quick reminder, everything we share on this show reflects our personal experiences and what's worked for us. We're not healthcare professionals, so if you or someone you know is dealing with a medical or mental health concern, please reach out to a qualified professional for support. What's up, bitches? Welcome to Bitches Be Cray. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Nancy. And today we're going to be talking about our intentions for 2025.
Yeah, because, we're already in December, and most people, I guess not everyone, because I don't think my husband ever thinks about what he's going to do, in the next year or makes any goals or intentions. But most people do start planning out, like, what they want to accomplish for the next year, at least before this month is over with. So we're getting a head start.
I think that I'm going to start with what I actually fucking accomplished from last year. I mean, for like this year,
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So I stopped smoking.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I am on day 350 of not smoking. And I have been trying for fucking 17 years. So to stop. I was smoking for 17 and I tried to stop. And actually, I think I have a notes on it for my goals that I did. I did quit smoking. I to consistently work out, and I think I did that as well. Meditating.
How often do you do that?
I'm doing it. I don't want to say I'm doing it every day, but I'm doing it at least 5 to 6 times a week.
That's great.
Yeah. Those are. I mean, there was more on the list, but those are the only things that I feel like I accomplished.
Now you have me wondering if I feel like I love to write stuff down or
do it,
type stuff.
And then I put it in.
That's so nice that you did. I wish I did that. Maybe I did in it somewhere, but I do know off the top of my head some goals I had this year that I can chat about real quick because I like that we're putting our successes in there. So I've been talking about wanting to be consistent with yoga for years. Like I get in these little moods where I'll do it a lot and then I won't do it for months. And I even tried to drag Nancy in a time or two, like, Nancy, do the yoga. It's so good. And then, like, I just, I never stayed consistent with it. But this year, I really wanted to do it, like, for my mental health and for my physical health. Like, I really need to be more flexible, like, in my actual body. And it just kind of calms me, as, yoga does. So, whenever it was sometime during this year, I told you, like, it wasn't like, I don't think it was a goal I set for myself or an intention I set for myself at the end of last year. But I know at some point I'm like, I'm going to actually do yoga this year, like for real. And then I did, and it was great. So I do it 5 days a week. I really want to get to 7. I was doing it 7 days a week for a while. I don't know how I slid back down to 5, but it's always at least 5. And I can, the days I write you sometimes, I'm like, I didn't do yoga today. Because it's always on the weekend when I don't. I'm like, boy, my body can feel it. Like, my body knows. It's like, you better do it. And then another goal I had was just to walk more. I don't know if I had an actual step goal at the time, but throughout the year, I've increased it, a few hundred steps every month. So those are 2 things I really wanted to do. I was already consistently doing, like, weights before the start of last year, so I didn't really add that in. And I'm sure I probably said I wanted to eat healthier, and I'm pretty sure that we talked last year about me, like, giving up the Coke addiction I have, the soda Coke addiction I have. And I'm still on that. So maybe that's a try again. But anyway.
I mean, I tried for 17 years to stop smoking. But I feel like obviously that's the one that I'm most proud of.
And you should be.
That's like, oh my God.
That's a hard habit to kick. I have family.
So much.
I have family who's been doing it for years, promising to quit and don't. So I'm so proud. Somebody in my life finally did it. Thank you for that.
I did it for you.
I know, right?
So I feel like my biggest, I guess I'll do them. My biggest intention that I want to focus on next year is starting my own business. Mm-hmm. I already have an idea. I haven't told you or anyone because I am afraid. You know what happens every time I tell it, you guys.
Okay. So I have to wait until you start it?
Yeah. I've decided that this time I'm not going to tell anybody because, guys, I'm infamous for my badass ideas that I never follow through because I have problems. So this time I decided I haven't told absolutely not a soul. But my therapist. I did tell my therapist.
Okay.
I wasn't even afraid to tell her. I just told her last time I had therapy with her.
Okay.
Like, that's how I'm fucking afraid I am. So that's my number. I feel like that's my number one. But I mean, obviously, I'm not going to quit my job. But this would be, I feel like it would be like a really good side hustle situation.
So are you thinking that so do you have like little like things you're going to have to do to build up to it? Like it's not like
but she gave me homework. By the time that we talk, I'm supposed to like have have some kind of idea of like how much insurance will be and how much, I think I'm supposed to already have a name by the time.
Okay, but this is good because this is a way to keep you, because before, like you say, you always have really good ideas.
Yeah, I do.
But you always tell me you feel like you lack the follow through. So now at least one person who feels safe to you to know.
That's my parent.
And who will, and who's going to like I love that you have homework about this and you can like check in on it, like to help you be accountable. Because think about when people want to lose weight, like they always say like having an accountability partner can be the thing that changes everything, because you're going to have like, maybe you'll let yourself down all day, but you don't want to let somebody else down.
Absolutely. So that's what, and then she actually advised that I go on ChatGPT and make a business plan.
Oh, that's a lovely idea. So. Okay, one more question and then I'll let you move on from it. But are you going to, so Nancy had a business idea before and she even started working on it. She even got an name.
It has nothing to do with that.
I was going to say, I won't say what it is, but she like had a license, like really, she went pretty far with this.
I went far.
Yeah. So she had a space for it already. So my question is like,
this is mobile.
So you don't need the space.
I don't need a space anymore.
Okay.
But that's what I like about it. And I feel like I can make a lot of money off of it, but not... I'm not going to say not put as much as effort into, because there will be effort in the beginning, but after a while, I can just hire somebody to do it for me. Okay. My second one is I want to work on my relationship with money. I feel like I've done that a lot this year, but still more, because I feel like I still have that scarcity mindset where I'm like afraid that I'm going to lose everything I have.
Okay.
Like just that random fear that, like, sometimes I'll even go as far as to like think that I'm going to be homeless. Shit like that.
Really?
Like, it's not going to happen.
You can live in my basement if
that's
it
what
gets
I'm
that
saying.
bad. But no, I understand.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and I always told myself, I'm like, Nancy, you have so many, there's people out there that have nobody. You would never be homeless. That's an irrational, crazy fear.
Yeah. But do you know, I can understand why that could be a fear though, because think about when we were like, quote unquote, coming of age.
Yeah.
Like in 2008, and people who really had their shit together.
Yeah.
And all those layoffs and everything in the recession, like there were people who you would think would never be homeless. I don't really know what happened, how they had nobody, but I saw a documentary about it once. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. It could happen.
But it's not going to happen for you. But I mean, that's a valid fear. But
and I also want to focus more on where I'm spending my money on, because I feel like I've been buying a lot of dumb shit.
Really? Well, I will say though, at least I feel like you've kind of, like you said, you've been working on this a little bit, because there's been a few times this year where you were telling me like, I'm making a budget. I'm going to put this in my budget, or like, and I don't think I've ever heard you mention
that's
that
because I also feel like I need to be more conscious, because I always feel like I spend it like I got it, and I usually do.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have to be more mindful, because like, I don't want to be stingy or not do things I don't want to do. Like, be like, oh, I don't have money for that. No. But I do feel like there is bigger goals. So I feel like if I make a little bit of a sacrifice right now, then maybe on 2026, I could invest that and then have a bigger return. And then at the end, be better off later on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like since I'm by myself, I have, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have that other income. So I have to like, and I also lost my other income, but that was like, I didn't lose it. I wanted to, like, I let it go.
Yeah.
You know, my side hustle.
Right.
So I feel like I just want to be more careful for like, honestly, I just want to see if I can.
Yeah.
Cause I feel like my inner child's always buying whatever the fuck she wants.
Yeah.
I have this $200 jacket on right now.
Okay.
But I excused it by telling myself I only have 2 jackets. This is the second jacket I own.
All right. Well,
in my entire life.
Yeah.
I do want to read more. I feel like I love reading, and I haven't been reading as much as I want to read. So I want to read more.
So are you going to have, speaking of reading, because, you know, that's one of my goals too, but are you going to have like a certain amount of, I mean, because I
always have it. I never make it.
Okay. But like how about a certain amount per month? Like,
damn, a certain amount per month?
Like, you know, just
I'm happy with one.
Well, okay. So I just mean like to give yourself something like small and achievable, like, or maybe it's like, I want to read blank amount of pages this month.
Well, since I've been doing that 75 hard bullshit, it's gotten better because I'm obligated to read 10 pages.
It's not over yet. It's over. Oh, it's
No,
coming up, right?
December 20 something.
Okay.
Because when we went to the cabin,
Yeah.
so those days we didn't do anything, so we added them.
Okay.
So and I also want to like.
I want you to read more too before we move on because there's some books I want to talk to you about.
I know.
That's been on your shelf. Read the books.
I know.
Okay, sorry.
I also want to be. I feel like I want to make more of an effort to connect more with the friends that I do have.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I don't have a lot of friends.
Like time or activities? Like, what do you mean?
Like, period. I feel like here lately, like, I overbooked some shit and all this bullshit. I feel like I want to be more present. Because I feel like this year was just go, 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 go. I don't even fucking remember what happened half of the fucking year at this point.
Yeah, you were, every time I wanted to see you, you're like.
It was like a lot.
You're like, I'm going to be at a concert this weekend, and I'm going to a cabin trip, and I'm going to.
Yes.
I'm
and
going
then,
to wherever else
since I've been dating, what's his name? He's like, bitch. I was like, I promise you, my life's not like this.
He's probably like, I want some time to. Yeah, because I would say, over the years that I've known you, even the years since you moved back to our hometown, like, I've always felt like you're available. Not like you didn't have a life, but like, I'm like, oh, there'll be a few dates we can choose from. And now you're like, listen,
I can come one day.
I could come to your house to record this podcast today. And if not, like, I'm not going to see you for like 4 weeks. Sorry.
It's hard. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I mean, it is.
You're going to like manage your time. And maybe
I want to manage my
overbook.
time better, but I do want to like, but I feel like I don't, like, I want to like make sure that I have time for the friends that I have.
And your relationship.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but that's a given. Whatever.
Okay.
I forgot about that. I didn't even put that in the thing.
Okay.
No offense to anybody. I'm planning on building a home. So I don't know. That'll probably be at the end of the year for sure.
Like starting at the end of the year, or when do you have any idea when? Do you want to share anything about like that situation?
So I've been given the opportunity to build a home on a family compound with my siblings. So everybody seems like they're going to start right away. For me, I feel like if I do that, I'm going to put my number one goal to the side again.
Oh, the business.
Yes. And I feel like if I prioritize the business part, then I can have that extra money. And at the end of the year, I don't have to get as much of a bigger loan, or you know what I mean? Or like I can have more money for like, I would like to have like new furniture when I move to my home. Whatever,
Yeah.
So I feel like I just want to prioritize that because the land's always going to be there.
Yeah. And maybe it's even better if they get a head start because they'll make sure everything's like cleared out. They're
going to clear it out. Somebody's coming he already sold the trees, remember?
Oh yeah.
Somebody's coming to take the trees no matter what. They're being cleared out. So I just, like you said, it's going to be there. When it's time, but I definitely think you'll have the opportunity next year to pick what you want and, get stuff started. I feel like by December, I would like to start building,
Yeah.
And that man builds pretty quickly. I could probably be in my home by fucking January. I feel like I want to stay connected to myself as well. I feel like I've been a little bit disconnected. Because I feel like I've been doing so many things that I just feel like overstimulated and like sometimes I leave my body.
Yeah.
Like, I went to the movies on Saturday after I had already promised that I was going to go to was it Friday? Friday. I promised that I was going to go to the tree thingy with my boyfriend. Mm-hmm. But then my cousin asked me to go to the movies. So then I went to both.
Did you see Wicked? Because I swear.
No, hell no, I hate Wicked.
I know, I'm just saying.
I wanted to go.
Oh, okay, that's acceptable.
And then I disassociated.
You didn't watch, like you were there, but you weren't there?
Remember.
Oh.
I don't remember half the movie.
Well, it'll be on Disney Plus. You'll watch it.
I mean, Renata watched it, and that's all that matters. Okay. So, whatever. But I disassociated, and I feel like one of my goals for you know what? Another thing that I didn't say that. So I'm a maladaptive daydreamer. I don't know if most people think that
I don't know what that
daydreaming is normal and having fictitious stories in your brain is normal. It's not. It's not normal. So from the time I was little until probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, I was living in an imaginary world in my brain with fake scenarios and fake conversations with people. And I would build a story. And then when people interrupt me, I would get pissed as fuck. I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but I saw a meme the other day that tells me that you can.
So you don't mean like fictitious stories of like pretending there's another world where like dragons and fairies
No,
are.
that's
You
fucking
mean like
crazy.
hey, I'm not doing that. I'm just kidding.
No, pretending. Let's say you met Billy Bob, and then you and Billy Bob get married and have drama and all bullshit, and like crazy shit. You never done that?
I don't know.
You never daydreamed that you and your ex would get back together?
Oh yeah,
and then like stuff like that, and make stories in your head, and then you'll be deep in, and then you have to start all over again.
I don't know. I'll have to think on this.
Okay, so
I mean, I've daydreamed.
So that's called
fantasized,
maladaptive daydreaming.
Okay.
So daydreaming is actually not good. Daydreaming takes up space. So now this year I made a big effort. I don't daydream. So like I used to daydream.
So you can't like daydream about like your goal, like building your house.
That's manifesting. You manifest it one time and you let it go.
Okay.
When you manifest, you don't keep going back and forth. That's reordering your lasagna over and over and over. It's already coming.
Okay.
No, that's why a lot of manifestations don't work, because people are thinking too much. They're not living in the now. You're not supposed to, like my boyfriend always asks me, what are you thinking about? I'm like, I'm not thinking anything. I'm watching a fucking movie with you. Oh. If I'm thinking something else, it's because I'm not here with you. I'm somewhere else. And it took me a long time to understand that. Like, I feel like this year I want to be more, like next year I want to be more, like even more present. Because I feel like here at the end of it, I haven't been. Like, I'm so tired. But in the beginning, the year I was very present. But I feel like that's something I accomplished this year. I did not daydream at all. And so next year I don't want to daydream, and I also want to be more present. Like, I don't want to like emotionally check out of things. Yeah. Like, what was the point of me fucking doing it?
Right.
And the thing is, I used to do that. That was my life. My life was daydreaming and being checked out. So I'm like, why did I go on vacation? I don't even remember it.
Oh, yeah.
The fuck was that?
Yeah.
So that's one of my goals. And my last goal is a really big one for me. And I've had it before, and I've actually added it on my other one, the one I just read out loud.
Okay.
It's still not checked out. So it's stop judging others.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably hard.
I'm very judgmental and critical.
If you've been doing it for your whole life.
And everyone's in my family. So yeah, in my family, everybody's super judgmental and critical. And
now, do you mean, and maybe you mean this just as a whole? Like, are you thinking about like the people that you actually know in your life and you're judging like their choices, or are you thinking about just random people?
Everyone.
So everything.
Nobody's my fucking business.
Yeah. Like,
their lives are not my business. What they're doing is not my business. It's not my business.
Yeah.
None of it is my business. Why should I have an opinion about it? It's not my business. Oh. I don't want to judge people. I genuinely do not want to judge people. I want to see people and be like, they're hurting. Like, we're all hurting. We're all just out here fucked up. Yeah. We're all fucked up. Truly. Nobody's out here normal.
Everybody is like, screwed up.
Like, let's say sometimes the things that I do is because of my trauma. Mm-hmm. So what makes me think that the things that those people are doing is not because of their trauma? Yeah. Everybody's working from their trauma. So, and the thing that I'm most blessed about is that I'm actually aware of my trauma. Most people aren't. Most people are just out there blaming everybody for everything that's happening to them. It's the cashier at Walmart's fault. It's the person at the dry cleaners. It's like, go look in the mirror, bitch. It's you.
Yeah. And I remember you telling me, I mean, maybe it was probably before this last year, and it was some point when you started working on yourself, and you said once you like see your own shit, like it's hard not to see other people's shit, whether, and, but that also helps you be more empathetic because you're like, they're not just out here being a bitch or an asshole. They have some shit in there that they're trying to, well, maybe they're not trying to, they may or may not be trying to work on, depending on if they're aware. But they don't know. Yeah.
And if it's a stranger, I'll let it go. I feel like it does bother me a little bit if like a family member or something, or a best friend or whatever. Amanda, I'm just kidding. Like, I mean, most of the people in my life are working on themselves, but it does get to a point where like, okay, go work on it.
Yeah. I remember you said to me recently, you were like, when you kind of found out some of your, what you called like the crazy things you do, like your shit. Am I crazy? You're like, and I'm like, oh my God, Amanda needs to work on this. How can I tell her? But I can't tell her.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't. Once you're so aware of yourself, you'll start to be aware of others, and you will be empathetic, and you want to tell them, but you can't.
Okay, but let's think about like how, because it's not, I mean, I think I was kind of working on some stuff here and there, like, but not in the way that I needed to before. But you telling me about you work, like, it's almost because, you know, there's probably people in your life, if you're listening, that you're like, if you're working on yourself, not you, like the audience, you, right? And, you know, if they're already working on something and they're like, oh, I wish so and so would work on, like, maybe they have a close friend or family member, you know. But like Nancy, like, would just tell me like things that she was doing, like around manifesting, around like inner child work. And like, I mean, I guess it depends on who your friends or family are, because like I'm very like interested in learning new stuff. So I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. Let me go. Like Nancy was like, you have to do this. You have to do that. You know? She's like, oh, I read this cool book about X. And I'm like, oh, I'd like to read. Let me know. Like, you know what I mean? So I would just kind of investigate. I would take like Nancy's stories and then I would kind of investigate. And then I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can do a little work. I mean,
that's basically the way to do it.
Right.
I'm supposed to. So people who are whoa, like not woke in the sense of the other shit, but actually like spiritually, like woke to me means being aware of yourself.
Yeah.
People who are aware of themselves, our job is to go help people be aware of themselves too. But most of those people are like kind of the Bible pushers. But you're not supposed to be a Bible pusher. You're just supposed to be like, this is what I'm doing. And then what happened with you is the end result that we're hoping for.
Right.
I told you about it.
Yeah.
And then one day you were like, oh, I'm interested.
Yeah.
But if you're not interested, that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, and the Bible pushes like, you have to be interested. No. And so I do go around telling everybody in my family what I'm doing and my friends and everybody. And a lot of people are already doing it. But I don't ever suggest that you need to do it because there's something wrong with you.
Right. And I think it really helps that I think, and I don't know how soon or how long you'd been working on anything before you told me, but like, you know, I could already see some changes in you. Do you know what I mean?
Since Renata was born.
So, I mean, it's like you have proof, not like you have to go around saying proof, but like, but you know what I mean? Like if people are like, oh, maybe Nancy used to like cuss out the waiter or something because they were a big old bitch. And I don't remember what happened the one time at our favorite restaurant, but something went down that day. Yeah. It was like a birthday party. Remember these? I mean, they were a-holes. They kind of deserved it, but that's not the point. But then it's like, you know, the Nancy I know now be like, you might be frustrated, but you're like, no, I'm not gonna. Like you're like, nope, not gonna. I'm not.
Unless I mean, right now,
because you're like, it's probably not even their fault that you know what I'm saying.
No.
Like today with my drink, I'm like, I wasn't gonna say anything. My drink was really like, they don't even care. And she was just like, hey, can we get in? You know?
Yeah, I was like, get another fucking drink and move on.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I that's the thing that I used to be complaining about, but I've seen the return on the investment.
Yeah,
like I am better, and even alone, like I used to have so much anxiety and be so depressed and be like everything was a big problem. And now alone, I'm like, everything's fine.
Yeah.
So that's it for me.
All right. Well, the things I noted to kind of think about was a little bit about how I am going to plan or how I have planned. And then I may come up with some more that won't make it through the podcast, but that I might just think about on my own.
Oh, yeah, I forgot I'm going to lose 20 pounds. Okay, keep going.
Oh, yeah.
20 pounds, that's it.
20 pounds.
Okay.
All right. You can do it. Nancy used to be losing 20. This is not healthy. But Nancy used to be losing like 20 pounds in a week. But
I did, but now I've been in the same way for 3 years almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's because I've been learning about myself.
Yeah.
I've been healing the part of me that made me want to eat.
Yeah. And that's what, because there's been a few times this year you've been frustrated, maybe more than a few, but at least a few you've told me. And I'm like, but you've been working on something more important. And once you have that once you have that taken care of, then you'll be fine.
Everything's great.
Yeah.
Keep going. Sorry.
So the first thing I kind of said was like, I try to think of like milestone goals. Like, you know, you have like your big overarching goal. Like I want to lose weight in 2025 too. I've been wanting to lose weight for years, but I'm going to do it in 2025. I've lost a little weight this year, but not enough to write home about.
I can tell.
But it's not enough to write home about. Okay. it's like 5 pounds. Oh my God. Okay, when you do that, I'll cut it out. But so, for example, I would really like to lose. I'd really like to lose 50 pounds next year, and so
that's so doable.
Yeah,
it really is. It's 1 pound a week.
Yes, and so that's what I was talking to Nancy about the other day when I told her that goal, because I'm like, I just divided like 50 divided by 12, you know, for the months of the year, and I'm like, oh, that's just like a little over 4 pounds a month, and you know, like 4 weeks in a month or 52 weeks in a year, so. I mean, yeah, that should really, honestly, if you really think about it, that should really not be a problem.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, that should
These
be.
people are losing like 40 in a day.
So easy. So, yeah. So, what I'm trying to think of with like little milestones. So, I need to be making sure I'm checking in on that weekly and then monthly. And then by the end of the year, I should be 50 pounds
You should
down.
think of a reward.
Yeah.
Not food though.
No.
Obviously.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But like at the end of the year, what's something that you've always wanted that your weight stopped you from doing?
That's a good question. Well, I don't like shopping.
Yeah.
And
but is it because of your weight that
I
you
will
don't like
see
shopping?
that I'm not sure. So maybe I can find out, because part of me thinks like my mom is, my mom's a tomboy. So she was not taking me out clothes shopping very much, but my grandmother liked to go shopping, and her sisters would come, quote unquote, to town, because our town was bigger than their town.
Oh, wow, that's sad.
They didn't have a mall. We had a mall. Okay. So they would come and we would go and like we would spend hours at the mall looking at clothes. And so like, I don't know if that really turned me off. That plus I mean, when I was a teenager, I was pretty quick at shopping. I'm like, yeah, that, no. So I don't know. So I would kind of like to find out, like, if I felt more comfortable with my size, like, would I like to shop?
Because for me, if I don't feel comfortable with my size, I don't.
Well, yeah, because it's like
want to.
Because like maybe you find clothes you like, right, and you like put them on and they don't look how you think they're gonna look, or you're like, oh, I need a bigger size, and like that can screw with you. Yeah. I so thinking, look, maybe I do have ththose like daydreams you talk about, because I used to always think about what it would be like to go shopping and be like, oh, I need a smaller size. Or feel good in something for once.
Yeah.
So maybe my reward would be a shopping spree, and maybe I'll actually enjoy it.
We should do it together at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Woo!
That would be good.
Off of my 20 pounds.
That's right. Or 70 pounds between us, or maybe more. You never know. And that would be fun.
That should be fun.
We can give an update. Look, there we go.
Oh my God, look at us.
So yeah. So I'm planning to, but I don't want to just say like. Why are you laughing now?
Nothing to write home about.
Well, because
okay,
right.
you go.
I'm proud of my 5 pounds, but like
I'm very proud of your 5 pounds.
Me too, but still.
I can tell them.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. But instead of just saying like I want to lose 5 pounds. Now I'm on the 5. Instead of saying I want to lose 50 pounds next year, like I realize I'm gonna do it. I realize I have to be consistent. Like to me, I feel like a lot of people don't meet their goals or don't do what they intend to do because they just say it and they don't think about it anymore. And you have to like plan for action. You have to like I need to check in on this frequently, consistently. Like I need to tell you, that's what I need to do. I need to tell you at the end of every month, here's where I'm at.
I think
you need
also
to know.
what
accountability.
what we need to do is next year when we go out to eat for our hangouts, we don't need to go all out.
I mean, we don't need the 2 appetizers and then dessert. We shared a meal, but no, look, in the past, I feel like we would have had 2 apps, 2 meals,
hell
and 2
yeah.
meals. We've cut back 1, but next year we'll cut
No,
back
I think that maybe
more.
in the next year we don't have treats. Not treats, but like be consistent in the fact that like today we hadn't seen each other in a month. We don't need to go and buy $150 of food.
Listen, it was only like 100, but
no. It was $110 plus your 10.
Okay.
You probably tipped what? Like I gave her like $15.
Yeah, I did over 20. I don't remember, over 20%.
Me too.
Yeah.
So that's
for the holidays.
Yes.
We're nice people.
So no, bitch. I was like $140.
Yeah. Well, Renata got to eat too.
A burger. That was a fucking $9.99.
But no, I get what you're. I get what you're. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Like maybe we didn't need 2 appetizers plus the dessert.
So I feel like
plus the wines plus the drinks. Like,
yeah, we need to we like step away from rewarding ourselves. There's nothing wrong with indulging in what you want to eat. That's not what we're saying. But maybe step away from
like we could
rewarding ourselves.
We could have still had because we've mentioned this before on the podcast, right? How we've kind of been working on not letting food be the center of our relationship. So yeah, like we still could have went and had a nice dinner, but I think the problem with today,
we were so hungry.
It is an excuse, but it's also like we thought Nancy was going to come a little earlier, but then her sister had a situation she needed help with, which was fine. And then I didn't eat because I thought it was just an hour, but I was just like, I just had a coffee and I'm like, oh, I'll just wait. It'll be fine. And so maybe that's something we need to work on, making sure we don't get to the point where we're so freaking hungry.
Yeah, we couldn't intuitively eat at this
that
point.
we ate yeah, because once you feel so hungry, you just kind of
you're road rage.
you go over the edge. But we'll work on
Okay.
We'll work. Maybe that's not a goal, but it is a goal.
We're doing great.
So something else on my list. I don't know. You don't get on TikTok, but I know you're on YouTube Shorts, and I don't know what people are calling it. But really, what I'm saying is, I want to focus on eating more whole foods next year.
Yeah.
Do you ever see those videos where people have like a cutting board and it's like a steak and like eggs and like all this?
Oh yeah, I love that.
I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna really put on a cutting board, but I want to be in. So my husband and I have been talking about that. We just want to eat like overall healthier in general, but even less processed than we do now.
Yeah.
So I want to have so I'm saying I want to eat whole foods, but I have to have more than that for this goal. So I'm saying like 3 times, that's the minimum. If it's more, awesome. But at least 3 times a week, that's what we're going to be doing in this house for at least dinner. I mean, maybe it could be a breakfast. I don't know. I don't typically, these days, I don't really have like a breakfast or lunch. I kind of eat a brunch because I'm not hungry until later. And then at lunch, I'm not hungry. So it's like, why? So that's also why I was overeating, because I had this thing in my head where I felt like I had to have 3 meals a day. But no, you don't. No, you eat when you're hungry. And I'm not hungry that often. I'm just not. And I'm not a snacker. So I've just been having like basically 2 meals a day. Maybe I had an apple for a snack here and there. But anyway, more whole foods. So the goal is to do at least 3 times a week, whether it's a combo of breakfast and or whatever. We're going to be cleaning it up around here. And then I have like 2 more things I really want to do. I want to read 25 books next year. I don't know how. I know I told you a number the other day, but then I realized
that was a big ass number too.
I think it was like 24 or something. Yeah. But then I realized that there were like 3 other. I read the A Court of Thorns and Roses, the Archetype series, and I didn't even have all those books noted. And I'd only read the first one before last year, so I read the other 4 last year. So I read about 30. So 25 might be too small of a goal, but I don't know. I have 2 book clubs, and one of them meets monthly. So
I wish you could see my face right now.
So there will be 12 books for sure. Although I do tend to skip the October one because I don't like to read horror, and like, of course, you're going to read that in October, and that's fine. And so, I don't know, but possibly 12 books already right there. Then I have my own personal book club, and we're meeting 6 times this year. So, there's some more books. And then there's always books, whether it's like self-help books or like just books I want to read. So, it's probably going to be more than 25, I would say, because all my people out there who read Fourth Wing, I'm about to finish the 2nd book, Iron Flame. And then the 3rd one's coming out at the end of January. I'm so freaking excited. I don't even know what it's called. Onyx Storm, I think. I feel like that's what it's called. Anyway, those books are like 890 something pages. The second one's like 800 and something pages. It's been taking
it took me 8 years to read a 600-page book.
So, well, I mean,
I recommend it. It's called Women That Run with the Wolves.
Oh, yeah,
it's a must. It's a must woman book read. Must.
That's on my. I mean, that'll be on my list. But
it's a good book.
So I got to read all the book club books. I want to read, just here's a little teaser for your life. In the beginning of 2025, Nancy and I are going to have a little series going on. I don't know what it's going to be called yet, but we're going to, we're reading this book. It's a book Nancy has read before, and it was like really.
I've read it 2 times already. It's the 5 wounds that prevent you from being yourself. So it's by this French woman. Her name is Lise. Bourbeau.
Oh, I don't see it.
And she talks about these 5 wounds that everyone has, and she describes them. Not everybody has all of them, but they do. And she describes them. So we're gonna have a series of episodes. It's like betrayal.
The mother wound. I know you told me
the betrayal one is basically your father. Your father if you're a female, and if you're a male, it's your mother. Mm-hmm. The mother wound is rejection if you're a female.
Okay.
And if you're a male, it's your father. Mm-hmm. But it's 5 of them, and we're going to be talking about them in January.
Yep. So that's going to require us to read
the book.
But
I mean, I've already read it, but this time I want to take notes on every single wound and talk about how it affects us each.
Yeah.
And if you think you have it.
Yeah.
We're gonna go balls to the wall on that.
All right. So that'll be coming up. The last goal that I have, or my intention, I've been using the word intentions as well, because what was it you said, Nancy, about intention?
The Power of Intention.
The Power of Intention.
That's his book. I've read it 3 times already.
Oh.
That's probably why I didn't read that much this year, because I read that book twice this year.
Oh, wow.
Because remember that girl that we watched that video on YouTube?
Yeah.
She said that she reads shit over and over. And that guy in the book that she read, he read the same book over and over and over. What was that?
Oh, the Change Your Paradigm.
Yes,
Change Your Life.
in the book, she says that there's this gentleman that reads the same book over and over and over and over and over until that shit is drilled into his brain. So I feel like I need to read The Power of Intention before the year's over again. So it's basically, he says that instead of you saying, I want to do this, or I want to be a good mom, say, I intend to be a good mom. And then something happens in your brain. And then you might not be a good mom today, but if you say it every single day, that eventually it's going to get in there.
Well, and I think that can probably make you not feel like a failure, because there are some days you just, maybe you can't do whatever you're intending to do, but you meant to. And then that makes you feel like that's okay. I'll do it. Like, I'll intend to going forward. You know what I mean? Not like I failed, now I can't do it.
He says that when you take the word should out of our book, like, I should do that. Oh, I should eat better. I should work out. But he says, like, I don't just say I intend to eat better. Okay. I intend to be better. I intend to work out. And he says that there's something in your brain that, I guess,
just responds differently.
Responds to it better than feeling guilty. Because when somebody, you should be doing that. What is that? That's shame.
Feels judgmental. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Shame. Yeah.
Yep. Well, I intend to spend more time outside in 2025.
Oh.
And I don't know if that's going to look like going on walks, if it's going to look like just trying to do some grounding. Because one of the podcasts, it's the Adult Chair podcast, she had did you hear the episode where she had like a guest on? And they were talking about grounding. I don't know if you heard. I don't remember which episode it is, but she was like talking about grounding. She didn't say you had to go outside necessarily.
You know, there's a grounding pad.
A grounding what?
Pad. You can
Oh,
get on the Amazon.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I don't know how, obviously I've never done it. The way I do grounding is I'll walk Shelby in front of that thing in front of my house?
Mm-hmm.
The little thing? I'll walk him on there without shoes.
Yeah.
There.
There was
not in the winter, hell no.
Yeah, there was a few times, it might have been around this time last year, that I had myself out in the front yard, my feet on the ground.
But remember when I did that body code?
Yeah.
She is pro pad.
Really?
Mm-hmm. She says she recommends a grounding pad.
Well, there's a way then. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying to be outside.
No, you should be outside.
So that might be something I do. I mean, sometimes, like during my lunch break right now, I'll take my dog out and I'll just kind of hang out on the back porch, and I won't have my phone. I won't do anything. I'm just like listening to the sounds outside. Like, I just need to do a little more of that. I feel like, even though I don't love nature and I don't love outside, maybe I can learn to. Because I do think it's important to be outside.
In all of us.
I mean,
that's where we came from.
Exactly. So it's like I intend to be more connected with nature and to be outside, whether I'm going to start taking a walk here and there out. Maybe, I think about that a lot. I did go on a walk outside like a week ago. But I think about, sometimes I look outside, or if I'm out on my lunch break, I'm like, outside's nice today. It's like a nice temperature and it looks sunny, or it looks whatever. I'm like, I'm going to go out today, and then I don't for whatever reason. Like, but I intend to, so I need to be outside more. So, yeah.
Need. That's also what he said.
Say need? Or
stop
don't say
saying
need.
that. You should, and I need.
So you got
shameful words.
Shameful words.
Because what if parents be like, you need to do this.
Yeah, that's
You should
true.
be doing that.
Yeah.
And it makes you feel automatic shame.
Yeah, no, that makes
automatic
sense.
shitty.
Yeah, if you don't. Yeah,
if you don't.
Intend
You
doesn't
just intended
hurt.
to do it today.
Intend doesn't hurt as
No,
bad.
it
Do you know what I
doesn't.
mean? It makes you nicer to yourself.
Mm-hmm. I recommend that book, The Power of Intention, by Wayne Dyer. Wayne Dyer. Yeah.
Is that the one you? No, that's not the 800-page one.
No, the 800 pages is the one women that run with the wolves. I recommend that too.
We got a lot of books to read next year.
We're readers.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else you need to say to our audience before we log off for 2024? We're still in season 1 of our podcast that, we started in August. So I feel like season 1 will end in the summer and season 2 will start in August. But we're at the end of this lovely year.
Oh my God, we've done it for this long now.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of us. Look at us.
Yeah.
I think some niggas have no follow through.
I was going to say, look, we're consistent and follow through. And then
because of you, bitch.
Well, I didn't make you show up here.
No, you didn't.
Look at that. You showed up here.
The food did. I'm just kidding.
You intended to do this podcast.
Oh, we should tell the story before we go. So Amanda's just realizing that nobody looked at her when she was little. And we were leaving the restaurant, and she was showing my daughter some Christmas lights, but my daughter wouldn't look. And then finally I was like, I thought you need to look at. And she looked, and what is it that you said?
I said, oh gosh, no, I don't know. I said something like
nobody.
Yeah, like
Amanda needs you to look at them because nobody looked at
I
her when
said, yeah,
she
you
was
have to
little.
like nobody looked at. Or I think I said to you like how I felt like you were encouraging to like because I was like you realized nobody looked when I was little, and you're like somebody look for her.
Yeah.
and then Renata said, and then Nancy said, no one looked at us when we were little, and Renata said, that's sad. And I'm like,
She was like, you look. She's like, I'm thankful you look at me. And
that
I was like,
so sweet.
it was. See, we're breaking cycles.
That's right. I mean, I looked at my children, so
Yeah.
they're like, hey, I can do this.
We probably looked at them too much.
I can do this backflip 800 times. Okay, that's so awesome.
Yeah,
So
but
happy
now
for
look.
you. Yep.
Now we're better.
Yep, it is. It's nice. Y'all are lucky children.
Yes, they are.
We've done a lot of work, so you could have a nice life if you're ever listening, but you shouldn't be.
No,
so.
please don't. Well, Merry Christmas. Is that still a thing we can say?
We can
Merry
say,
Christmas.
we can say whatever we want.
And Happy New Year.
Yeah. Hope you enjoy your time, hopefully off from work or with your family or by yourself or whatever you're doing to celebrate if you do these holidays. And we will see you.
Oh, maybe we should link the book below that we're going to do the thing so people can read it.
Yeah.
It's a good book.
Then you can see how you relate to
all the wounds,
to
the 5 wounds.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you in 2025, bitches.
Bye. Bitches.